Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. So we are back at Group E, the last batches of games, right? And then we can finally start with the top 16 playoffs. So this matchup we have Gouki Gumblar, so I was about to say the youngest deck here in this particular group, but it's kinda a tie with Electromite Turbo. So it's a Master Rule 4 deck list. As you know, Gouki Gumblar, second place, if I'm not mistaken, from Adrian Koch. Can't remember exactly which YCS it was, but it was definitely second place. Obviously, it's heavily focused towards extra linking your opponents. Plus, as you know, how strong Gumblar is, and you know there is a reason why the card is banned. Prevent your opponent basically from playing the game and discarding their entire hand. It's going to take on a modern deck list, modern engine being Adventure, Brave, PK, because it's an OCG deck list. So which deck has the advantage? Interesting one. As I've read, going first is obviously very important for both decks. The thing is that I could see here in this case, Brave PK having the advantage because of stuff like Maxi, for example. You know how strong Maxi is in, basically against every special summon deck. But at the same time, Gouki Gumblar is a deck from 2018. And it's missing, powerful cards that we nowadays have, like Crossout, for example, especially because it's a super combo-oriented deck. But it is what it is. That was a format back then. It was also running only one Isolde, and that's of course very important. Now he can just Imperm or Veiler, for example, the first Isolde effect, but so that's a small bummer. Anyway, so go second with Gouki Gumblar, and that's something you definitely want. Well, if Gouki Gumblar wants to have, a shot at winning, it needs to win the first duel, because post-Cytec, let's face it, I believe there is multiple Nibiru, there's already the main decked Maxi, I think Droplets, definitely, and his Dark Ruler no more, also there in the Cytec? Not sure. But, yeah, going second, it's very hard to, first of all, force out the Griffin. Then there's Fog Blades, maybe 2 Fog Blades, potential hand traps, potential Maxi as we see here. So there's nothing really I can do. Even the Ibli is not going to do that much. So this is basically a lost duel already. So, let's continue. Yeah, and even Droplet, so, Phoenix Enforcer can return here during the, standby phase, I think. So now I go first, and I'm well aware that if my opponent has like an Imperm here on Isolde, or a Ghost Ogre as well on Summon Sorceress, Nibiru, there's nothing really I can do. Well, even with Nibiru, there is like maybe Gouki Rematch to get me back in the duel, or definitely Soul Charge, but nope. Not opening with that at least. And I'm kind of lucky here. Absolutely no disruption, so I can freely go for my combo. As you know, Isolde is basically full combo, and then depends on which extenders you have. But as you know, this deck, with Danger, you're playing so many hand traps, so many extenders, plus Summon Sorcerers can surge the extender you need. And quite important for this particular deck is that you can definitely loop your opponent for 6. So, I mean loop, discard them for 6. While, Gumblar during your turn, that's 2. Gumblar during their turn, that's 2. And then Dolphin, Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Get at least 1, well 2 basically, because you could reborn it, get it back with Fire Wand and special summon it back again, what happens here. So kind of abusing Dolphin as well. Then there is a small Phantom Knight engine in here, because again you need the Phantom Knight trap card to, I guess, trigger Gumblar during your turn, that's an option, but obviously triggering Gumblar during your opponent's turn, that's one of the ways. I guess you could chain Call by the Grave here, but again, Tri-Gate Wizard is co-linked with 3, so I can basically negate everything from the opponent. Okay, so game number 3, I go second, and I think I only have Imperm as my hand trap. I believe Ash and Imperm, I think that's pretty much it, so that's not a lot. And look at that, look at that hand, opening with Dasher, Celestial, No Fusion Destiny, but I mean, okay, Anaconda is still there. The deck is basically playing with only 3 cards, but as you know, normal summoning tier scale or Torn scale, you still have full combo, you know, if you discard like a Phantom Knight trap or whatever. So this board doesn't really seem too threatening. You know, first of all, I have to force out Phoenix Enforcer plus double back row, and we also see that the Call by the Grave hits Malicious, and that's a biggie. That's definitely a biggie. I could maybe force out the back rows with Phoenix, you know, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Phoenix can go into, Nightmare Mermaid, yeah, to try to search Iblis from the deck and maybe go from there. But again, battling it out or battling through multiple negations for this deck is really, really hard. I mean, nowadays you have stuff like, what is it, Dark Ruler, Droplet obviously, but this isn't really the deck that, you know, you could go for Droplet, just go for Dark Ruler when going second, or, you know, the standard stuff, evenly matched Lightning Storm. And that's where we see, you know, the more recent combo deck that is, has like the advantage over the much older combo decks. But okay, so game number 4. It is what it is. Again, going first, and again, I'm well aware if my opponent has Nibiru, Imperm, or whatever, it's not looking too great. Depends on which extenders I have. So Maxi already could have sealed the deal, almost, basically, yeah. Because again, there's like no follow-up play, and I basically need to stop. You can't give your opponent with that many hand traps. You know, I can't play through Maxi. And the Dolphin effect reveals Nibiru, and I'm faced with a dilemma. I'm like, I can't play into Nibiru. This was summon number 4, I think, and I had summoned Sorceress, Malicious, I think, you know, all the delicious plays ready. So I kind of need to bank on the somewhat inconsistency of the deck of PK Adventure or Adventure PK, and again, I can't play into Nibiru. Then again, are there ways to kind of force out Nibiru? I think Or do I have a trap in grave? I mean, I could have gone for something like Gumblar and maybe trigger Gumblar, you know, before the 5th summon and then force my opponent to discard at least 2. That could have been something, but I think there's a trap in my graveyard. I think so. So anyway, again, we know the last card in the hand is a Nibiru. Ah, okay, yeah, Iblis is indeed the card that prevents Nibiru from being summoned, so I can go for all of my plays, but I don't think I can go for game. Especially with a set, do we know which? Yeah, it was Searched White, one of the PK monsters, so again, kinda ending on a weak board, but I think I still have a Firewall Bounce, if I'm not mistaken, to you know, at least have a 1 interruption. Here, maybe I could have set the Phantom Knight trap, but I was like, no, maybe I draw dangers, you know how it goes. But I think setting the trap was a better play, giving me the extra monster again, putting pressure on my opponent. And yeah, as I mentioned before, indeed the bounce of Firewall Dragon was still there to potentially, you know, get back my own Iblis, normal summon it to Reborn Phoenix or something like that. But again, well aware that the potential Nibiru is still there. But again, here I'm again ending on a weak board, so I feel that this one, the 4th duel, I probably should not have won, but I mean, the free information from Dolphin kind of helped out, but I think I could have played this one a bit better. You can let me know. So last game. I go second, so it wasn't looking too great unless, I guess, Phantom Knight kind of bricks with like a couple of hand traps and Fogblade or something like that. But it's not the case. So the deck is able to end on, I guess, a couple of Fogblades, 1 or 2, potential hand traps, and yeah, Phoenix Enforcer. Once per turn Phoenix Enforcer. Call by the Grave, I guess, is an out for that. But, you know, the deck still are... Phoenix Enforcers can still pop something on my side of the field. So the Danger Engine definitely helps out if it wasn't for Drawn on Lockbird. So that kind of seals the deal. Phoenix to, you know, force out the, the Fogblade, and as expected. Phoenix Enforcer is indeed destroying Phoenix, and now my plays are very limited because of Droll. Droll again prevents the Goukis from, you know, searching, so the game is pretty much over. There was like no chance to get myself back in the duel. So a 3-2. Before this match, or at least before this matchup, I kinda had that particular feeling. Like, the more recent deck have the advantage, or having the advantage because of the most obvious reasons. But So it is what it is. So next matchup we have a good one. Both these decks can still move on. It's definitely one of them, but both can actually move on. It depends on, it being a 3-2, 3-1 maybe, but then I have to check up on like, their own matches like Infernal Knight or Electromite Turbo versus Brave PK, how that particular matchup went, previously. But again, Electromite Turbo versus Infernal Knights. Feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like. If you enjoyed the video, leave them signing out. Peace.